Welcome to Art Dawald Gymnasium and Atomic TV's presentation of District 6 basketball presented by Fowler General Construction. I'm Michael Ravel, and sitting beside me is my co-host Kennedy Tate. And tonight's matchup features your Bombers taking on the visiting 8-11 Lewis and Clark Tigers. Richland is 13-5 this season, coming into District 6 quarterfinals.
Kylie Kukis is leading the Bombers in assists with 5 a game along with 10 points per game of her own, and she is paired with Kaylani Reyes, who is leading the MC with 59 three-pointers on the season, shooting 37% from 3. For Lewis and Clark, Olivia Bayard is leading the team in points, assists, and steals, so look to see a well-rounded performance from her tonight.
Yeah, you can definitely see Bayard of LC to be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting offensively. And for the Bombers, you can see Kaylani Reyes. She has really been a key to victory many a time as she's been able to be a lethal threat from behind the arc.
Yeah, the thing about Kaylani Reyes is that she's going to give you her consistent points per night, but at any given time, she will go off. And I feel like I say that a lot, but she really does. And she just needs to make a few, and then she'll get going. And then she can easily give you just 12 points in a quarter. And it's amazing to have a player like that. And then even on her off day, she's still remarkably consistent.
And with that, we're going to take a look from around the district, just kind of the future outlook and the ramifications of district play here. So the winner of this game will head to Gonzaga Prep to face Gonzaga Prep. And across on the other side of the bracket, Chiawana handily beat Ferris 78-45. And Kamiakin barely did not win against Meade. Meade able to edge out a 2-point victory, 43-41, and they will play at Chiawana. So overall, there is a lot of good action that has been happening across District 6, and it will come to a close here tonight at Dawald. And with that, we are going to head down to the court with our public address announcer, Michael Valise, for player intros.
And your Richland Bombers! The Tigers enter tonight's game with an 8-11 record. The Bombers enter tonight's game with a 15-6 record. Tonight's game will be conducted under the rules and regulations of District 6 and the All spectators are encouraged to protect the team and not suspend grades or toilet owners and officials. Spectators who make harassment comments, including those of a racial or sexual nature, will be removed from the gymnasium. We would like to remind you that all ISDs and free school district, tobacco products and alcohol beverages and non-appearance in the country. Sign of the school ban and the use of in-tech noisemakers are strictly prohibited. At the conclusion of the game, spectators remain in the bleachers until all players, coaches, and officials have entered their respective locker rooms. We hope you'll enjoy tonight's contest and support our efforts to respect human dignity by promoting good citizenship and sportsmanship in high school interscholastic athletics. Have friends and family want to follow along but can't be here tonight? Well, the game is being broadcast live on YouTube by our Best in Class Atomic TV program. To watch the game, go to youtube.com, search for Atomic TV, and join Michael Ravel and Kenny Tate for all the action. Now, fans, it is my pleasure to introduce the players for tonight's District 6 matchup. First, the non-starters for the visiting Lewis and Clark Tigers. At guard, a 5'7" junior, number 1, Olivia Sawicki. At guard, a 5'5" junior, number 5, Lila Taylor. At 4, a 5'10" junior, number 14, Rhiannon Kilgore. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 21, Charlotte Erling. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 31, Mackenzie Erling. And at 4, a 5'9" sophomore, number 32, Madeline Simmons. Now it's time to meet the stars of the visiting Tigers. At guard, a 5'6" senior, number 2, Olivia Bayard. At guard, a 5'5" senior, number 12, Michaela Vu. At guard, a 5'6" junior, number 15, Maven Kilgore. At forward, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Ruby Shaw. And at center, a 6'1" freshman, number 25, Ida Goldsmith. The Tigers are coached by Sydney Floriani. She's assisted by Sydney Saber, Brianna King, Katrina Beck, and Jared Ouya. Now it's Howard City. It's time to get on your feet and meet your Richland Bombers. First, the non-starting Bombers. At guard, a 5'6" junior, Rodney Lester. At guard, a 5'4" senior, Lamar Nelson. ladies and gentlemen, please rise. We honor our country with playing our national anthem. Today's anthem will be played by the RHS Box Squad Band under the direction of drum major Dylan Trigg and Victor Zinchuk, and the instructor Matt Larson. Shout out to the best dang band in the land.
It will be Deanna Drake to jump for Richland, and it'll be Ada Goldsmith to jump for Lewis and Clark. It is Valentine's Day here today at Art Dawald Kennedy, and it is gold out across the way at the student section.
A little bit of, I think that's a tip violation. Basically, when you tip the ball, you cannot get possession of it yourself. You have to give it to either the other team or a member of your own team.
That is correct. Deanna Drake adding to yet another violation that I've never seen before, or at least a new for us this year, adding to the tally.
You know, at this point, though, I honestly love to see it.
Yeah, it's kind of, we're checking off the bucket list. We're filling in our bingo card, so to say. Going down low to Michaela Vu, and it goes out of bounds off of Vu, and it'll be Richland basketball.
Very early on in the game, I mean, this is a playoff game, so the stakes are a little bit different, but we are seeing a pretty tight press.
Yeah, LC showing pressure early. Kukas takes the ball up for the Bombers. Drives with her right, takes it off the glass, gets it good to go. Olivia Boyard with the ball now. The leading force of this LC offense as Shaw gets down low, gets her own rebound on the miss. Stolen by Mendez, though. Kukas kicks it ahead to Reyes, steps into a three, pulls it in, doesn't get it to go home. Shaw able to grab the rebound, and Bayard hits it up to, or excuse me, now up to Bayard. She takes a three, no good off the backboard. MJ Mendez with the rebound, going the length of the court, coast to coast, can't finish. She is fouled by Olivia Bayard.
LC foul number 2, Olivia Bayard, her first personal, team first. MJ on shooting 2.
MJ Mendez makes the first, a newer starter. She began to start in the last quarter of the season with an injured Kenzie Stone.
Yeah, and she's really cemented herself so far. You know, a very consistent player, and she can kind of play any role.
Misses the first, and the Bombers display a trap press, and it's able to get it out to Vu. over to the corner to Babin Kilgore, and she loses possession, stolen by Kaylani Reyes. Kukas up ahead to Drake. Hands it off to Reyes. She takes a three. Won't go, rattles out. Rebounded by Kilgore. Kilgore loses possession, but then able to keep her dribble, and it'll roll over to Vu. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Vu doesn't use the screen. Shaw puts up a three, misses short, rebounded by Kukas. Mendez takes a pull-up three, no good. Taylor Davis, short corner jumper, misses long. Deanna Drake fighting for her second offensive rebound. MJ Mendez getting through traffic, can't finish at the hole. Fight for the ball. Taylor Davis able to strip it away, and she's going to be fouled by Ruby Shaw.
LC foul number 20, Ruby Shaw, her first personal team second.
As we get deeper into the playoffs, the officials are going to start calling less and less contact fouls. They're going to let the girls play. Davis outside to Reyes. Still can't find the mark. Taylor Davis can't secure the rebound, goes off of her right hand and out of bounds. 3-0 after 2 minutes and 10 seconds of play. Baird picks her dribble up on the wing. Over now to Shaw on the near side of your screen. She drives with her right, tries to get through traffic. She's fouled. No shot. No, excuse me, she traveled. Ruby Shaw turns the ball over on a travel. Kukas spinning, kicks it out to Drake on the elbow, misses short. Goldsmith with a good rebound. In the corner, Vu with the three, Kilgore with the three. Rebounded by Baird, and she will be fouled on the way back up.
Richland foul number 0, Kylie Kukas, her first personal, team's first. Timeout.
Coach Westerfield taking the first time out of the basketball game. She'll take a 30-second timeout. Kennedy 3-0 after nearly 3 minutes of basketball being played. Just kind of a slow start from both sides.
Yeah, no, something I also wanted to highlight, though, is that we see Lewis and Clark playing a man press, which is something you don't see very much at the high school level because it's kind of hard to execute. We see typically zone presses, which means that a defender has their own little section of the court, or a trap press, which means you try to make sure that you have two defenders on one person on offense. And they're doing something where you kind of just stick to your own guy, and I've never really seen that. And it's working to an extent here as Richland hasn't gotten any momentum, but then Lewis and Clark hasn't been able to capitalize on that on the other end and go up and do something for themselves. So I think whatever team can just start making their shots is going to be the team that pulls away here, unless it happens for both at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And like you're saying, it's not like you don't see that anymore. It happens. It's just you really just. It's not, it hasn't been phased out. It's just coaches don't even try it anymore. It's just like it's just nowhere near as common.
Yeah, no, because it requires all 5 people to do their job 100% of the time, whereas in other zone schemes or whatever, you can get other people to pick up the slack.
Mm-hmm. Baird knocks both free throws down and knocks the lead down to 1 for Richland. Davis driving on the baseline, finishes with the right. Kilgore lost possession, had it poked out, and it is Richland basketball. LC in showing more pressure. Kukas able to break, contain, and kick it down to Mendez, who puts up a right, won't go. Drake fighting for the rebound, hits it off of Mendez. It'll be LC basketball. Baird to Kilgore, has it stolen by Kukas. It's just Kukas and Baird on the fast break, and Kukas finishes. Baird tried to kind of stunt there and imitate some pressure, did not phase Kukas. Kilgore to Kilgore right there, back over to Bayard. Creates space, pulls up at the jumper, won't go. Good fight for the rebound from Babin Kilgore. She picks up her dribble in the corner and is facing heavy pressure and stolen by Mendez. Good defense from Deanna Drake. And a bad pass from Kukis is able to be saved by Mendez, but grabbed by Vu of LC. Vu takes a shot and Kukis draws an offensive foul.
Takes a charge, yeah.
Takes a charge, that's a better way to put it, thank you. Kenzie Stone checks into the game, and out comes MJ Mendez.
And then Goldsmith into the game for your Lewis and Clark Tigers. Yeah, we've seen Lewis and Clark so far just stop playing their man presses we were talking about. And then Richland has gotten a few more points, and most of those are in transition, but I'm curious why the coach made that decision. I think we'll see that play out in the following minutes.
Over to Drake, she takes a three, misses off the back iron. Ball finds her way back to Drake. Davis thinks about a three and swings it over to Reyes, and it just can't quite fall. 2 shots now that have just rattled out for Reyes. Bayard finishing in transition at the rim. Taylor Davis now taking a three, still no good. Able to get her own rebound, she finds Reyes, and now it's Kukis going down low to Stone. Got a much taller Goldsmith on her, able to retain possession and get it over to Taylor Davis. After all that, it is still only 16 seconds on the shot clock, and Kenzie Stone is fouled by Ruby Shaw. Yes, the foul is on Shaw. Shaw and Vu come out of the game, and Kilgore and Erling are in. Stone goes down low and then gets the ball back out to her. Reyes swings it over to Kukis, who throws it at Taylor Davis's feet. Davis takes a pull-up jumper. Can't roll home. Goldsmith with a good rebound. She's fouled by one of the Bombers down there. It'll be on Kenzie Stone, on Taylor Davis.
Yeah, quickly while we have a break and play, I just want to highlight that the Bombers seem to have their fundamentals slipping, and that there was, I'd say, probably 2 or 3 passes that possession that if they had been executed a little cleaner could have actually, you get a slight second one that's one step on the defender, more opportunities to convert. I'm sure as the game goes on, they get more warmed up, that'll fix itself. Just something I highlighted.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that really you never seem to think about, but if you're catching the ball off your shoestrings the whole time, you can't get as good of a release, or it's not in your pocket. And that's a three from Mackenzie Erling in the corner to tie this game up at 7. Tigers and the Bombers now neck and neck. Taylor Davis gets a screen and swings it over to Reyes, trying to get going, still can't. Tall rebound and saved by Stone, and then saved by Mendez, but not before she steps out of bounds. Kilgore over to Bayard. Now Bayard trying to make something happen with under 15 seconds on the shot clock. Able to get her own rebound, though, and give LC the lead. Richland in a scoring drought. They have not scored since Kukis's right-hand lay-in, which was over 4 minutes ago.
Nehemiah Nelson into the game for Kehlani Reyes.
And we see Olivia Bayard check out for the first time here for LC. Kukis with 10 on the shot clock, working in the corner, picks up her dribble, down low to Stone. Goldsmith on her, outside to Nelson, 2 seconds on the shot clock. They've got to get it off, they're not gonna. And shot clock hits 0, and it is LC basketball. Kilgore tries to go over the top to Goldsmith. It goes off of her hand and out of bounds. So a short LC possession, turning it right back over after they forced a shot clock violation.
Yeah, really something I talk about almost every single broadcast is just capitalizing on the opportunities you're given. And especially now that it's playoffs where like every possession does truly matter. That's definitely going to get highlighted at halftime if I had to bet on it.
Nehemiah Nelson in the short corner tying the game back up.
You know, throughout the season, I've really come to love short corner shots.
Why is that? As Kilgore can't finish and able to not quite save it. It'll be Richland basketball of 18 and a half on the game clock. Why do you love short corner shots, Kennedy?
Well, particularly for our girls program, they seem to be fairly efficient at like making those, and so almost every time I see one, it just makes me happy.
Rhiannon Kilgore able to give LC to lead after the turnover. Kukas dribbles through traffic. Nehemiah Nelson transition three, no good. Mendez can't come home with the rebound, and it'll stay here with 0.9 seconds on the clock. Richland can get a shot off. Mendez to inbound outside to Davis. Takes one dribble, doesn't get it off in time, missed the shot anyways.
Through your first quarter of play, Bombers 9, Lewis Clark Tigers 11. They find themselves down by 2.
And you know, Kennedy, Kylie Kukas, one of the players we highlighted pregame, is leading both team, or excuse me, just leading the Bombers with 4 points. And Kaylani Reyes, she's had a couple of unfortunate misses. That's if you watch those, a couple of those threes just hit the rim multiple times and couldn't go home. And with that, we're going to step aside and we'll return for the second quarter of action. As we come back for the second quarter of action, we'd like to say this Atomic TV broadcast is proudly supported by Fowler General Construction. Fowler is committed to supporting Atomic TV student broadcasters and student athletes and celebrating their successes on and off the field. Fowler General Construction is a superior choice for general contracting services here in the Tri-Cities. Mendez's shot is no good, off the backboard, then rim, rebounded by LC. Vu will initiate, gets a good screen from Goldsmith, spinning, puts up a shot, won't go. Rebound fought for, and it'll go out of bounds. Richland basketball. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Stone tries to find Nelson. She sidesteps her defender, puts up a three, won't go. Good shot, no avail. Baird over to Vu. Vu now trying to use the screen, doesn't want to, picks up her dribble, gives it over to Kilgore. Tries to go over the top to Goldsmith, can't connect. It'll be Bomber basketball.
Dana Drake was the game. Out comes Kenzie Stone. Haven't seen her in a few minutes, so she's normally a player that you'd like to have on the court, especially trying to get stuff going.
She always seems to be a integral part of the Richland team whenever they start working well. She's kind of just something that makes the team work a lot better together. Kukas takes the first three for her and drains it. Kylie Kukas.
Fresh off the assist from Dana Drake, in which she touched the ball 2 times in that possession, so it really just goes to show that when the ball touches her during a possession,
good things happen, you know. One of the things you always want to hear is like, good things happen when you're around the ball, you know what I mean? It's typically a football saying where it's whenever you're around the ball, things tend to be going our way. But Deanna Drake right there creating an immediate impact off the bench. Bainham Kilgore makes her first free throw.
With Lila Taylor checking into the game.
Kilgore goes 1 for 2, rebounded by Goldsmith, gets the putback to give LC the lead. Taylor Davis gets it to go. Good little shot there from nearly the block. Taylor.
You could have also called that a short corner layup.
That's one way to put it. That's actually not a terrible description, as Kukas puts a hurt on the rim, and it'll be up ahead to Bayard, excuse me. And her jumper is good. Good jumper there.
Ooh.
Drake creating space, puts up a shot, gets it to go.
That was just really good core awareness right there, where she realized that there's no one directly to her back and then spun and had the space for it.
Good spatial awareness.
That is not a natural instinct. That is
that's a learned, that's a learned skill. Kilgore over to Bayard. Goldsmith can't finish, doubled by Mendez and Davis. And Taylor Davis with the rejection on the perimeter, stolen by Drake. Deanna Drake from the outside, you bet! Deanna Drake have a sequence.
We could not have said it better, in which we say that good things happen when she's in, and the Bombers have been doing extremely well since she has came into the game.
30-second timeout charge to Coach Florani of LC. And just like that, we nearly doubled our total scoring 3 minutes into the second quarter than we had the whole first quarter.
Yeah, no, you love to see it. It's almost as like you might think we wrote a script and we were like, oh, she's going to come in and do really good, and then she did. So love to see it. And then both teams scoring. Obviously, at least me personally, maybe this isn't public opinion, but I like to watch basketball games where there's a lot of scoring. I appreciate good defense, but I love to see sequences like this in which every team scoring back and forth. Those are the games to watch.
Olivia Bayard leading both sides, having 8 points, just one more than Kukas' 7. Shaw, dribble handoff to Vu, but Vu picks up her pivot foot. She's arguing her case. She's still yelling at the referee. Kukas now over to the left wing, far side of your screen to Taylor Davis. She steps inside the three-point line, and Deanna Drake has it hit out by Goldsmith. Bayard's pass to Kilgore outside to Goldsmith, and a miscommunication goes out of bounds. For this being a Saturday basketball game on a holiday, on a 3-day weekend, we got a pretty decent student turnout here.
Yeah, for those of you at home, if you guys care, there was a student event planned by our ASB Vice President, and great turnout. Love to see it. Makes our broadcast more fun, and I hope you guys have more fun watching it at home too, as there's better energy. As Drake from 3.
Deanna Drake with her second 3 here of the quarter. She's quickly put herself with 8 points on the night as Shaw takes a 3, answers back. Ruby Shaw from behind the arc. Nothing but net right there, man. That was a good jump. That was a good shot, too.
That was. I love to see good shots.
Kukas can't finish from underneath. And you can see there, that might have been called earlier in the year, Drake's physicality with Goldsmith there. There was no call. Bayard takes a 3 off back rim. Good rebound from Goldsmith, wrestles it away, can't finish, another rebound, and this time she can be fouled on the ground. For those who are curious, Goldsmith is 6'1". She is just a freshman. That is pretty impressive with the amount of body control she displays and how much her coach trusts her to put her as a starter.
Yeah, well, especially when you're tall and you're younger, you grow pretty quick, or so I've heard. I wouldn't necessarily know myself, but it is tough to do. So you always love to see players that have almost mastered the
Ruby Shaw with a good bucket down underneath there and able to get a steal from the cross-court pass. Up ahead to Kilgore, spinning, puts up a left-handed shot, won't go. Davis able to grab the rebound, and Kylie Kukas will push the pace the other way for Richland. Splitting the defenders and finishing through contact. Michaela Vu will pick up another foul, and Kylie Kukas will head to the line.
Losing by foul 12, Michaela Vu, her second personal, team's first. Kylie at the line, shooting one.
Kukas can't complete the three-point play, and it is rebounded by Kilgore. Ruby Shaw dribbles it off of her foot, and we have a substitution. Goldsmith is back in the game. Vu comes out for Lewis and Clark. Quick double team from LC. Kukas goes right by him. Stone steps into a jumper, won't go. Able to get a rebound maybe. Bayard and Stone get a jump ball. They hit the deck. It is LC basketball, possession arrow going their way. Kilgore to Shaw. Shaw working on Davis. Kylie Kukas getting her hands in there, shoveled out, and it is no good. Rebounded by Kaylani Reyes. Bayard's three attempt, no good there. Up ahead to Deanna Drake. She takes her short corner jumper, won't go. Rebounded by Bayard. Bayard flipping the court, picking it up at the free throw line. Shaw thinks about a three, steps back, kicks it over, now inside to Goldsmith, puts up a left, gets it to go. Good post work from Ida Goldsmith. Drake inside out pass to Reyes, her three finally goes.
That's a scary shot right there, because typically once she makes one, you're followed by two or three more.
Leading the MCC in total three-pointers made. Kukas hits the deck, followed by Ruby Shaw's screen, and Ruby Shaw with the rebound and put back to cut the lead to 2.
We have seen Lewis and Clark set some very aggressive on-ball screens so far.
And Kukas hits the deck. She is fouled by Bayard. Bayard dove for the ball and unfortunately took out Kukas's legs.
Losing by foul number 2, Olivia Bayard, her second personal, team second.
Kukas will come out of the game and Mendez will come in.
Vu returns to the Tigers.
Drake finds Stone, who gets by her defender and can't finish. Good shot opportunity, unable to capitalize. There's now a minute left here in the first half of this District 6 quarterfinal. Kilgore getting inside, kicking it out to Kilgore. The Kilgore to Kilgore connection paying off right there. LC now with a 1-point lead, 28-27. Stone to Drake. She lets her defender fly by, steps in for a jumper, no good. Good rebound from Kenzie Stone. She took it herself back out to the perimeter, and MJ Mendez unable to hang on, stolen by Vu. About a 2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Michaela Vu steps back and hands it off to Shaw, and she is fouled by Deanna Drake. Deanna Drake has 2 in this half, 17.4 seconds left. The shot clock is now turned off. So LC could in theory bleed the rest of this and take one last shot to end the first half. Kilgore over to Vu. Vu takes a 3 in the corner, drains it. Clock ticking under 10 seconds. Mendez has got to get the ball up here quickly. They want Kaylani Reyes. She puts up a 3, misses short, and rebounded by Kilgore. And after 16 minutes of play, LC Tigers are up 31-27 over the Richland Bombers.
Yeah, some quickly things before break I'd like to highlight is one, just the performance by Deanna Drake and the fact that Kaylani Reyes so far has seemingly found her shot. I mean, she still has a few more attempts to go, but when she makes one, I've said it before, but many others follow. So I look to see that coming back from half. And then Lewis and Clark Tigers are just executing on most of the things they try to do. And then they're setting some very aggressive ball screens, and they've showed a somewhat adequate man press. This is going to be a competitive game. I would stick around for the entirety of the broadcast if you guys are available to, because this is going to be a potential nail-biter and maybe an overtime game. We're going to see.
6th seed currently leading the 3-seeded Richland Bombers by 4. And with that, we are going to step aside for the remainder of the halftime. We'll be back for the second half of action. As we come back from halftime, we'd like to welcome you back to Richland Bomber Basketball District 6 playoff action presented by Fowler General Construction. And here are your first half stats presented by Swift Stop. Excuse me, scratch that. That's my bad. We do not have those available. But as we come back for the second half of action, the Bombers are down 4 to the LC Tigers, 27-31. Taylor Davis at the top of the key, trying to get it over to Kylie Kukas. She has it stolen. It's going to be grabbed by Vu, but Kylie Kukas will pick up a foul.
Richland Bomber Girls Kylie Kukas, her second personal, team's first.
Vu taking a step back three and draining it. LC now with a 7-point lead. Deanna Drake with the turnaround jumper, finds nothing. Good rebound from Mendez. Good pump fake from Reyes. Her jumper's no good. Follow up from Davis. Still nothing. Gets her own rebound. Can't convert, and it will stay here.
Ball inbounded to Drake. Kehlani Reyes from three. I literally predicted before halftime. I said once she makes her first, many follow, and just about a minute into the second half, we see that happen. Offensive foul here from Kilgore. Oh, correction, that is a defensive foul on MJ Mendez. Shot no good from three.
Richland Bomber 3, Kehlani Reyes, her second personal, team's third.
Kehlani Reyes will be charged with the foul here for Richland as Lewis and Clark goes to the line. They've been a sufficient free throw team so far as fails to make the first one.
Yeah, that's Rihanna and Kilgore at the line shooting her second free throw now. Able to convert the second, giving LC a 5-point lead. 6:45 left here in the third. Taylor Davis jabs and gets it inside to Drake. Cross court pass, and now it's over in Mendez's hands. Good pump fake, step in jumper, no good. Kukas can't quite find the rebound, but it's off of Kilgore. All the way over to Kukas at the top. On the far wing. Drake able to get it back out to Davis. Davis now with no dribble gets it over to Kukas. Kukas, change of direction, dribble, no good on the shot attempt. Shaw all the way over to Kilgore. She puts up a three, no good. Rebounded by Goldsmith. Her putback is.
Tigers find themselves, I believe, the largest lead of the game so far was 7.
Kehlani Reyes can't finish from close. Good hustle from Drake over to Mendez down low. She swings it out to Davis. And it goes through Drake's fingers into Shaw's hands. Kilgore with the three, no good. LC trying to get the transition three game going. They haven't been able to, aside from the one VU three. And Coach Westerfield is going to take a full timeout. And we're going to step aside as the Bombers find themselves down 7 with 5:22 left to play here in the third. .15 seconds now, over to Davis. Her three won't go. Rebounded by Stone. No, it's not. Shaw able to wrestle it away, and Taylor Davis is going to pick up a foul on attempting to steal the ball away from Michaela Vu.
Personal foul number 13, Taylor Davis, her second personal team score.
Inside is Kilgore, good off the glass with left to give the Tigers their largest lead of the game at 9 points. Taylor Davis looks off a defender, steps into a jumper, won't go. Rebounded by Michaela Vu. Up ahead now to Shaw, she can't hang on and it goes out of bounds.
Loma with a little bit of weight behind that pass. It is harder than it looks, though, to like throw the ball up court, especially when you can't necessarily like see the person running.
It's one of the finer arts in the game is being able to make a good cross-court pass.
Yeah, especially when there's defenders. It's just like it's pretty easy to do if it was just like you two in an open court. But with defenders and you have to get it so they can't reach it, there is definitely skill to it.
You're moving and you're picking it up off a dribble.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much shooting from the hip there. Kilgore over to Shaw. LC has noticeably slowed their pace down as Kilgore takes a three and bangs it home.
You have the worst announcers jinx on the planet.
Hey, they still definitely slowed down their pace. It took them nearly 22 seconds to take that shot.
That is true.
Drake dribbles it back out to the three-point line. Taylor Davis pump fakes and takes a three. And finally hitting Taylor Davis with her first three of the half. Vu guarded tightly by Kukas, forces Vu to give it up. Shaw will drive on Davis and back outside to Kilgore, and she's still hot. Kilgore with back-to-back threes for LC. Tries to jump the pass from Davis and leaves Reyes open in the corner and bangs it home. 4 straight threes from both sides. 9-point deficit for Richland. And we have a timeout taken by LC, a full timeout. And Richland still finding themselves here in a 9-point hole, but it's good to see that their shots from behind the arc are beginning to hit.
Yeah, no, we've seen a lot of like great shots from Richland, but the unfortunate bit is they are being responded to by LC. You know, if Richland shoots, LC shoots, and that's kind of what we've seen for the past couple of minutes. It's really just who can hang on longer. And then the team that does, like if Richland keep at this pace, Lewis and Clark won't be able to keep up for the entire rest of the game. So it's really just about like doing what you've done all season and just sticking to it.
Yeah, and it's not like either of these teams are necessarily favorites to walk out of this district as district champions, but you can see here that both sides definitely have some youth, they have some explosiveness, and to where either of them can win any game, and it's kind of one of those things, it's any given Sunday type of saying where it's there's a reason they play the games, you know what I mean? The records and the seedings never tell the story, especially here in District 6. Michaela Vu over to Kilgore. Gets a screen from Goldsmith. Kenzie Stone switches onto her. Taylor Davis guarding Ruby Shaw, 5 seconds. They get it down low to Goldsmith. She kicks it back out to Shaw. She steps into a shot, and it is going to be rejected by Davis, forcing a shot clock violation. 2 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Kaylani Reyes off the pass from Kukas, puts up a floater, good off the glass.
You don't typically see that from her. Like, it's definitely a shot she has in her bag. We just don't see it often. So when it comes out, it's like to see it.
Yeah, it's a good sight. Good defense from the Bombers to get a bad pass here, and Taylor Davis can't quite grab it, but it doesn't matter as it still goes towards Richland. But as I was saying, good defense on the screen there, able to hedge it and prevent the screen from being effective. Kukas able to get away from the pressure. LC now showing more pressure, and Kaylani Reyes from behind the arc. And just like that, it is 45-41. Less than 4 minutes ago, this Richland team was down 12. Vu from the wing, no good. Good rebound from Drake. Kukas now. Richland does not have numbers. She takes it to the hole and finishes. A 2-point basketball game, as now it's Kilgore from three, no good. And now it's the other way. Now the Bombers have numbers. It's back to Drake. She finishes.
Just like that, the game is tied.
45-45. There is a buzz in the air here at Dawald. Shaw at the top of the key. Fakes the handoff. It goes off of Davis's foot and into Kukas' hands. Nobody around. And she gives the Bombers the lead with the right hand. Vu with Kukas all over her, forced to pick up her dribble. Over to Kilgore now on the near side of your screen, goes over the top to Goldsmith. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Vu, she puts up a shot, no foul call, rebounded by Drake.
Shot clock turned off here in the end of the third period.
Deanna Drake slows things down. Kukas now, 10 seconds. Reyes' three, misses long, air ball. Davis hustles and does not.
They claim she stepped out of bounds before she went up.
Happens all too often, unfortunately. .2 seconds on the clock. Taylor Davis is the lone Bomber showing pressure across half court. Shaw now, 3 seconds. Shaw gives it up. Kilgore doesn't get the shot off. After 3 quarters of play, the Richland Bombers are ahead 47-45, coming all the way back from down 12 in that quarter to finish it with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, no, almost exactly as I said about 4 minutes ago in that timeout break. I said if Richland keeps doing what they're doing and LC doesn't, that's when we have a game that's exactly what we've seen so far. As I called it, they kept making their shots, they kept executing, and then they kept that same intensity on defense, and now they find themselves in the lead, and they were just down 9 points.
We have a short break ahead of us, and we will step aside Bombers are up 2. 8 minutes left. We'll be right back. As we come back for the final quarter of action, we'd like to say this Atomic TV broadcast is proudly supported by Fowler General Construction. Fowler is committed to supporting Atomic TV's student broadcasters and student athletes to celebrate their successes on and off the field. Fowler General Construction is a superior choice for general contracting services here in the Tri-Cities. Shaw goes up and she is fouled and will be sent to the line for the Richland Bombers' first team foul of the fourth quarter, coming 9 seconds in. Shaw with an opportunity to tie the game up. She cannot convert her first. Shaw will have one more. And this defensive rebound for Richland is going to be crucial to set the tone for the rest of the game. It doesn't matter, of course, as Shaw able to make her second free throw. Kehlani Reyes has it tipped, but still winds up in Davis's hands. She takes a floater from the short corner. It won't go. Good hustle from both her, from Mendez and Davis, and forces a jump ball, which will be in favor of Richland. Mendez will be the inbounder for the Bombers. Reyes steps into the corner and gets it back out to the wing where Taylor Davis is. She steps into a three. No good. And Kenzie Stone is fouled on her way back up. Kenzie Stone heading to the line for the first time this game. Her chance for her first points. No announcers jinx that time.
Yeah, I was worried about you, Mike.
Kenzie Stone converts the first, and out comes Kilgore and Taylor. Goldsmith and Vu are back in. Kenzie Stone goes 2 for 2. You're how quiet it got here in the gym as the Richland faithful go silent for their free throws. Kylie Kukas hits the deck, and Vu hits the deck as well, but not after she is fouled.
Richland foul number 33, Kenzie Stone.
Kenzie Stone is credited with the foul.
Michaela Vu at the line shooting 2.
Vu gives the Tigers a 47-point total here, 49-47. And as it is right now, this game, like you were saying, Kennedy, as we went into halftime, has turned into a nail-biter as the second one doesn't go, and rebounded by Mendez. This game could go either way, as both teams have shown that at any given moment they could turn it on and give us an outstanding shooting display.
Yeah, both of these teams definitely live and die by the three, and we've seen a lot of living from both of them today.
Inside to Mendez, she takes a jumper from the elbow. It won't go, and a good rebound, but not after an offensive foul from Kenzie Stone. Deanna Drake checks back into the game, and out will come Kenzie Stone following her second foul in the last 2 possessions. Michaela Vu will initiate the offense for the LC Tigers. Ruby Shaw is blocked from behind by Kukas, and she pushes Taylor Davis in the back out of frustration.
LC foul number 20, Ruby Shaw. That's her fourth personal foul, second.
Brianna Kilgore checks back into the game as Shaw checks out. Davis on the near side of your screen on the wing, hands it off to Drake, who gives it right back. Inside to Drake, she finds Mendez, and she has it stolen by Vu from behind. Kilgore from the volleyball line goes over the top to Goldsmith, and it's off of Mendez's hands, and she is able to save it. I fully thought that ball bounced out of bounds, excuse me, but no, she was able to save it, and Kukis loses possession, but Mendez saves it from LC hand. She can't convert though, and Drake able to grab an offensive rebound. Taylor Davis inside to Mendez, picks up her dribble on the interior. Kaylani Reyes from deep. It goes, ravels home. Kaylani Reyes give her 17 on the night. Kaylani Reyes hits the deck on defense, and it's a long three, no good. Missed by Kilgore.
Kenzie Stone into the game for MJ Mendez.
Taylor Davis trying to break the press, and she has it stolen by Kilgore. Rhiannon Kilgore can't hang on. Trying to initiate contact, she loses possession. Kaylani Reyes gives it up in the short corner. Vu can't hang on. Kylie Kukis for three off the back iron. Rebounded by Goldsmith. Coach Floriani of LC will take a 30-second timeout. And the Richland Bombers have a 5-point lead with 4:47 left here in the District 6 quarterfinal. We'll be back for the final minutes of action. Goldsmith hands it off to Erling, who's back into the game. Babin Kilgore over to Rhiannon Kilgore, and she puts up a left hand, and she is fouled with 7 seconds on the shot clock, and she will head to the line.
With the foul, 33, Kenzie Stone, her third personal, team's fourth. Rhiannon Kilgore at the line, shooting 2.
Kilgore's first is good. 4-point deficit now for the Tigers. Kilgore's second won't go. She has 9 on the night as Kenzie Stone's rebound is nearly stolen by Babin Kilgore. Kukis weaves through traffic, gets by 4 LC defenders, gives it up to Stone, and she converts from close. Goldsmith trying to get a dribble handoff. It's stolen by Kukis. Kukis with Kilgore in the way, and she finishes with the left over her. And we have a flop warning issued to Babin Kilgore of Lewis and Clark. So there is no real effect other than that. If anyone from Lewis and Clark commits a flopping violation, it will be a technical foul issued to the team. But right now, it is just a warning. 8-point lead here for the Bombers. Swung all the way over to Vu. Far side of your screen, now up to Kilgore. Down inside to Shaw. She's double teamed, puts up a right, won't go. And a hard foul by Vu. Unintentional at that, I must say that. She was trying to grab the basketball. And a thing to note here, Kylie Kukas and Kaylani Reyes are combined for 32 points here tonight in a playoff game. That is clutch performance from two of the players we highlighted.
Yeah, no, you love when the people that you expect to show up just do show up. It is tough to perform game after game. I will say, like, when I'm not going to act like that's something easy to do, but you love when it happens. Davis from three, not able to get it.
But yeah, you love when you're able to have your star players do what your star players are supposed to do. As Shaw kicks it out to Kilgore, she goes off the back rim, and it's a tussle for it, and it's still being tossed around. Somehow Goldsmith gets her hands back on it. Shaw trying to get inside. She travels. And there we see the increased physicality that the officials are letting happen, as normally there's either someone's getting a whistle there, but not at this time of the year, as Coach Westerfield takes a full timeout.
Yeah, no, you love to see it, especially when you react. You understand that the refs are going to call a little bit less, so you play a little bit harder. You play through certain contact that you normally stop through. You put your hand closer to the ball. You're not worried so much, and really you're going to see how teams adapt. That is part of being a good team and being a playoff team, is adapting to situations you're giving. You have to understand the refereeing is not the same in this game versus when you play like Shiawana during the regular season, or when you're playing like out-of-conference teams at the very beginning. This is a different game, so you should react differently. You find yourselves up 8, you should react differently than when you're up 8 during the regular season. It means more right now. So right now, Richmond needs to come out, show more effort. They need to come, basically just do more of everything. Take better defense, make better shots. Same thing for Lewis and Clark. If they want to claw themselves back into this game, they need to just do more. They need to guard your man closer. You need to communicate better with your teammates on the switch. You can't just let other people figure it out.
That's a great point, actually. Yeah,
exactly. You need to communicate, and you need to be the one going out there and making sure it gets done. And that goes for all 10 people on the court for the respective teams. You just want to see both teams go out there and do and compete.
And so as we kind of get into the final minutes here, these are typically the loudest final minutes, especially when it's within 10 points. The communication on switches, that's going to be huge for Richland here coming to the end, as Ida Goldsmith has been setting some amazing screens. Got 6'1". The freshman has been a huge reason that they've been able to score off the dribble, is because she's able to give her ball handlers some freedom.
Yeah, on that very same token, if you're Richland, you need to communicate more. If you're going to switch, if you're going to hedge, what that looks like,
exactly.
Who's falling, who's dropping. And then that's like part of defense, because you're just giving up very open shots.
And we saw Richland here deploying a new strategy with LC in a zone, and Kaylani Reyes can't finish. It seemed as if they overloaded the left side of the court, the near side of your screen, and I'm interested to see if they do that again, as Vu was able to hang on through Kukas's flurry. She goes over the top to Goldsmith, and she finishes through.
See, and she slipped through right there. There was no communication on that screen, and she was able to just get like 2 seconds unguarded to get the ball. That's exactly what we talk about, and then you see it in action now.
LC still in that 2-3 zone. Drake finds a corner three. She drains it. Deanna Drake from deep. Full timeout taken by Coach Floriani of LC, and there's not much insight for us to add here, and a huge shot from Deanna Drake right there. I mean, that's just huge.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely like just what we were saying. Like you love when people that you expect to step up do step up, and she's shown that all game. She's not normally a three-point shooter, and that's not to say that she can't shoot. That's not normally her thing, but that's the role that they're needed right now, and that's the role she's fulfilling. So you just love to see it.
And with that, there is 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. We're going to step aside for a brief moment. We'll be right back.
Back with just over 2 minutes left to play, Richland has 3 players above double digits. Lewis and Clark has none on the floor right now. All very high single digits, though, so we're looking to see who's going to pull away here. Kylie Kukas with the steal.
Kukas is going to either be fouled. I believe she's going to be fouled by Vu. Kaylani Vu, that is her 4th of the night. One more, she is gone.
You know, with playoffs, we're talking about a little bit more leniency from refs. At what point do you just let her keep going when she had the open court in front of her and likely would have scored? Do you call that, or do you think they made the right decision there?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a foul. There's a lot. They let a lot of the ticky-tack stuff go as Kukas picks up her pivot foot and turns the ball over. But they let a lot of the ticky-tack stuff go. You know what I mean? The hands-on, they kind of let that happen. But at the end of the day, if it's a foul, it's a foul. They're going to call most of the normal standard fouls. Kilgore goes cross court over to Vu. Vu goes inside to Kilgore. She puts up a left and it rattles home off the glass. Good shot over Kukas. As we see the hand check there from Vu, that is her 5th and final foul. She is fouled out of the game. Or excuse me, no, that is on Kilgore. Check that. Vu is still in the game, but Kylie Kukas will head to the line as Richland is now in the bonus.
Check that foul on number 15, Maven Kilgore, her first personal.
Kukas is first, misses short. Her second, though, is good to give the Bombers an 8-point lead with just over a minute 20 left here in the game. Winner of this game heads to Gonzaga Prep to play the Bullpups later this week. Or next week. Vu puts up a shot through heavy contact, but it is off of a Richland defender and out of bounds. 10 seconds on the shot clock. By no means is this an insurmountable lead. Rhiannon Kilgore back outside to Ruby Shaw. She's forced to take a wild left-handed scoop, but she is fouled, and that will put her at the line.
Yeah, a little bit of like simple math, but when you look at it in context, if she makes both of these free throws here, then that's only a 6-point game, and that's just 2 threes, and with almost 60 seconds left, that is a very comeback. Like, that's quite easy to do, and they've shown that they can make that many shots that quickly. So this is very important, you know, as she made her first. Let's see if she makes her second. If she makes her second, this is a potentially winnable game. And she does.
Ice in her veins to bring the game within arm's reach for the Tigers.
Yeah, so now for the Tigers, you don't want them to get a shot off, but you definitely don't want to foul them.
As Taylor Davis with an open 3 won't go. A good rebound from Kilgore. That is huge to the case of the Tigers to come back. And Shaw takes a shot in transition. She can't finish, although it will stay here. Whether or not that's a shot you want your team to take is a decision for Coach Floriani. Even then, that's an open look. That's a good shot. Pretty high percentage. It did not go.
Well, every shot in context, really.
And able to finish through contact as Rhiannon Kilgore give her 13 points on the night. Clock is ticking, 30 seconds left. And Ruby Shaw is going to pick up her 5th foul of the night and put Kukas on the line. Kukas makes the first. Bombers now with the 5-point lead, and we have a full timeout taken by Floriani of LC. Well, Kennedy, sorry, what were you going to say?
So right now the shot clock is turned off, and now if you're Richland, you are up by 5. You are starting to feel a little bit comfortable, understanding that you still have to go out there and play. You can't just completely throw in the towel. You have the opportunity to potentially get the ball at some point and just dribble it out. But you can't lose the ball. You still have to make sure you're very careful in what you do. Lewis and Clark now has to try extra hard if they want to come back from, a deficit like this. It's not crazy, but they do have to execute purposefully and be very intentional in what they do. So I think in this time out, they're going to construct how you're going to do that, because 2 threes wins you the game, 3 and then a layup ties you, and really then you get more time overtime. So you're just looking to make no mistakes as well as execute on your points. And if you're Richland, you're just keeping the ball to yourself. You're not trying to score. You're not trying to run up the lead. You're just trying to protect your win.
That's a great way to put it, as pretty much whatever team, this is the best way I would put it. If Richland can execute the little things, they win the ball game. If Richland has a couple of fundamental lapses, then you don't really crack the door. You're opening the door wide open. You're holding the door wide open. Yeah. And it all starts right here from Kylie Kukas. And she converts her second free throw to make it a 6-point lead. Vu gives it up to Goldsmith. Vu, 20 seconds, inside. No good. That's Erling, on the shot there. And it will go out of bounds. Kukas couldn't save it in time. 12 seconds, and the Tigers have to quickly make 2 threes. Kilgore takes a 3. No good. Rebounded by Taylor Davis. She hands it off. Kukas running around in the backcourt is going to be fouled by Kilgore with 2.3 seconds left to play. And as Kukas will walk down to court and shoot her last 2 free throws of the night, the Richland Bombers are likely, I don't want to quite jinx it, I am pretty known for that, to head to Spokane to face the Bullpups next Tuesday. And that's always a game to look forward to, Richland, no matter what the sport is. Richland versus Gonzaga Prep always seems to be a game circled in the districts or even state playoffs, as the clock expires and it is official. Your Richland Bombers win 63-56 over the Lewis and Clark Tigers.
Yeah, no, this was a great game in which every member of the Richland Bombers came out and they did what they were supposed to. They did what they were asked, and they won sometimes above asking. We saw that with Gannon Drake making threes, which is not typically a three-point shooter. And so you'd love to see a win like this to continue your season, especially if you're a senior. If you're counting down, you only have so many games left. And so to be able to extend your season even further is something that at this point in the season matters a lot if you're a player.
Yeah, and pretty much from here, it's like your back isn't necessarily against the wall yet, but you don't want to be in a position where it is. So with that, Richland wins by 7, and we will next, holy cow, and up next, we have the boys taking on the Ferris Saxons. We hope to see you there. Thank you for watching this broadcast of District 6 quarterfinal basketball, and go Bombers.
The 21